What's going on, everyone? This is Lior with Compass out of Boston, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the pros and the cons of living in Watertown and Waltham, Massachusetts. So let's get at it. What's going on, everyone? My name's Lior, and I'm with Compass out of Boston. And in this video, we're going to be talking about some of the pros and the cons of living in Watertown and Waltham, Mass. And before we get into it, two quick things. Number one, if you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, smash that subscribe button. I put out tons of new videos every single week talking what it's like living in all over Greater Boston, tips on buying, tips on selling and investing, and so on. So if you haven't already subscribed, smash that button. And number two, if you guys are thinking about doing anything with real estate anywhere around the Greater Boston area, whether it's buying, whether it's selling, investing, whatever it may be, hit me up. I get so many calls from you guys watching my videos, and I absolutely love it. So if you have any questions, send me a call, send me a text, email, hit me up on Instagram, whatever it is, and I will help you out. So let's get into today's content, which is all about the pros and the cons of living in Watertown and Waltham. And we're going to start with the pros. So pro number one for living in these two cities is the prices and the potential growth of these prices for the future. So if you think about where Watertown and Waltham are located, they're surrounded by some of the higher end cities, all from anywhere around Boston, right? Because your neighboring towns are basically Newton, Cambridge, Belmont, Weston, Lexington. These are the towns that surround Watertown and Waltham. And if you know anything about those other towns I just mentioned, you'll know that these are some of the most expensive towns anywhere around the Boston area. Newton, Lexington, Weston, these are super high-end markets. Homes can easily go well into the millions. So when you're talking about prices for Watertown, Waltham, you're right in that same location, except you're literally paying a fraction of the price. So that's the real nice thing, is you can get into this really convenient overall location of Watertown, Waltham, but you don't have to pay the prices of Newton, of Cambridge, of Belmont, of Lexington. You're literally paying a fraction of it. Now, in terms of future potential, again, obviously it's a little bit speculative because you never know exactly how things are going to play out, but both Watertown and Waltham are riding huge trends right now. There are some mega projects which make people really optimistic about the prices of these towns in the future. Watertown, for example, has the Arsenal Yards development, which is an absolutely mega project, which I think is going to absolutely change Watertown. Waltham has some tons of large construction projects going on. You know, these towns are attracting younger professionals, younger families by the day. So I personally think these towns are going to be completely different in terms of pricing in the next couple of years. So there are good reasons to believe that. Pro number two we're going to talk about is convenience for commuters and industry. So if you're gonna be working in downtown Boston, living in Watertown, Waltham is not too bad. You can get into the city within, say, 20 to 25 minutes, depending exactly where you're coming from and the day and the traffic. But it's really not too bad for commuters. You can pretty easily get into downtown. If you work in Cambridge, it's super easy. Watertown is right next to Cambridge, so it can be a very easy commute. And speaking of working, both of these cities themselves have quite a bit of industry that you really see all over Greater Boston. I mean, both of these have a lot of biotech, pharma, and healthcare presence. They definitely both have a lot of these kinds of companies. They both have a lot of financial services companies there. They have a lot of different educational jobs. Again, education is obviously a very big industry in Massachusetts. And there's also some tech here too. So if you're going to be working in Boston or Cambridge, it's not a bad commute. But if you're going to be living in Watertown, Waltham, chances are you might even have a job in one of these cities, because both of them have a lot of industry that's really common throughout the Greater Boston area. And pro number three we're going to talk about is both of these cities really offer amazing amenities. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of green space for you to enjoy. So it really makes an awesome place to live. So, for example, if we're going to talk about Watertown, I've already mentioned this, but Watertown right now has the Arsenal Yards project, which is under construction. There's going to be a lot more high-end shops, restaurants. There's already a lot of higher-end restaurants in Watertown. If you look at Branchline, which is one of my favorite places, awesome high-end rotisserie chicken place. You got to check it out. But you can even go to Watertown Square, where you're going to have more cafes, restaurants that you can enjoy. Other cool parts about Watertown, it's right on the river, so you can walk, take a hike, bike, whatever it is, all along the river with you, your family. So there's plenty of green space. There's plenty of things to do to enjoy in Watertown. Waltham is also pretty cool too. If you haven't seen my other videos about Waltham, I've done a couple of other, but basically in Waltham, it's kind of a little bit more segmented, but you have pockets like Moody Street, which offer awesome bars, cafes, restaurants. It's really kind of the little downtown of Waltham. But Waltham also offers tons of green space. You've got a couple of reservations. You've got Prospect Hill Park, which is awesome for taking a walk, biking, whatever it is. And Waltham also offers really convenient shopping. They have some mega retailers. They have Market Basket, Costco, Home Depot. So in terms of convenience and things to do, everything is kind of right in both of these cities. So it's really convenient. You don't have to go hike anywhere into Boston or Cambridge. Everything is within these cities, which makes it really convenient and fun to live in. Now, in terms of cons, honestly, I couldn't think of too many cons, but there was two ones that I thought I would share with you guys. The first con is probably transportation. Neither of them is an amazing transportation hub. Waltham does have the commuter rail stop. So if you are commuting into the city and you don't want to drive, you can certainly hop on that line and get into Boston. But besides that, there really is just mainly bus lines. There's no subway T stops in either Waltham or Watertown. So again, if you're going to be working from home, if you're going to be working downtown or somewhere else, you're probably either going to be going to the commuter rail stop in Waltham, or you're just going to be driving. That being said, the driving's not too bad. Like I talked about before, you do have pretty good access to Soldier Field Road, to Mass Pike, so it's not too bad. Now, the second con, which I think I'd mention, is even though both of these areas are on a boom and there's a ton of people moving there, there's a lot of construction going on, schools there are not quite as amazing yet. If you look up rankings for both Waltham and Watertown schools, they're both around somewhere 3.5 stars or so. Again, depending on the source, one might be a little bit higher than the other, but I'd say it's not incredible. It's not incredible school system, right? I mean, especially since your neighboring towns are towns like Newton, Belmont, Lexington, Weston, which are known for really good schools. I'd say Watertown and Waltham they're definitely a tier below. But again, if you're a young professional, or maybe even if you're a younger family, that might be something that you can compromise on. It's not like they're bad. They're just not as amazing as, the surrounding towns, which are known for absolutely amazing schools. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit more of a sense of some of the pros and the cons. I mean, both of these areas are amazing. They're really fun to live in. They have so much going on. And I personally think they're going to be completely different in the next 5-10 years. But if commuting, if you do need if commuting is a big deal for you, where you need the subway, or if you really need a really great school system for your kids, maybe it may not be the best fit. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. If you have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, whatever it is, shoot them below. And like I said, guys, I get so many calls from you guys watching my videos, and I absolutely love when you guys reach out to me. So if you have any questions, hit me up and I will help you out.